Listen to this.
Going off of compatibility just by itself can be a trap. Because first off, you can be compatible with a demon. Like devils know what you like too. The type of women that you like, you want her to have more curves in the highway. The type of man that you like, you want him tall with broad shoulders and a beard. The enemy can send you pain gift wrapped as your preference. So that's just the first thing about how compatibility can be a trap. The second thing is compatibility is season based. It is possible for you to be compatible with the season of their struggle, but not the season of their success. I want somebody who's going to be there for me if I hit rock bottom. Well, what if they can only handle your rock bottom, but they can't handle your upward season? So now the question becomes, are we
You know what? He has a strong point right there when he's saying that you can get into a relationship and that individual can be there for you at your rock bottom, but they won't be there for you at your success. They can't manage to see all the glory that you're basking in when you're successful. They won't let go of how you were when you were down and in the gutter trying to build and manifest this life for you. Sometimes they get jealous as well. And this goes both ways. This goes for men in relationship and women in relationship. They can't manage. I see people going around there saying, yeah, you know, there's an old term, the saying that they're going and saying, um,
really compatible, or do we just share similar dysfunction? We're both broken in the same area. We're both wounded over the same things. We have the same feelings over the same wounds, so we end up sharing hearts. But what happens if one of you heals and the other one doesn't? Because just because you heal doesn't mean that they're going to heal. And just because you heal doesn't mean that you can make them heal. What happens if one of you heal? You will remove what y'all had in common. And I want us to be so whole and so secure that when we heal, we don't end up feeling guilty because they're crawling, but we now have wings. It's not just about compatibility. It's about suitability. Does this individual suit my assignment well? Do they complement what it is that God has me doing in earth while I'm here in time? When a man or a woman has found that, that's a blessing. Because when God gives a blessing, you're not going to have to exchange your mental health as payment to keep it. So maybe you're so exhausted because you're breastfeeding toxicity in order to maintain an image of being happy over the very thing that you told everybody was a blessing.
there's a question that you got to ask yourself. Do you genuinely know what makes you happy? I remember the first time someone asked me that question, say, what makes me happy? It actually took me 1 year before I could answer that question. What genuinely makes you happy? Because it shouldn't be anything external to you, not your kids, not your jobs, nothing external. What internally makes you happy?
A karmic relationship is a relationship that feels like a soulmate, but you continue to go through the same cycles and patterns of hell, essentially. Okay? Let me explain the difference between a karmic cycle and a soulmate to you. This is a deep lesson, so you might want to grab your notebooks and your pens because this goes deep and it's going to literally explain why your relationship has been the way that it's been. And I'm about to clock your T, so it means that you are stuck in the same cycle because you refuse to learn the lesson. When you choose to learn the lesson and walk away permanently and remove yourself, you will no longer be stuck in that cycle. But a lot of us have a hard time trying to understand the lesson that has been presented to us. And I'm so
And it doesn't necessarily mean it's with that one person we're talking about stuck in the same cycle. It could be you've stopped dating that individual and then you start dating someone else and the same pattern. It's because we're dating the same person, the same energy with a different face. That's it. And you ever notice that they're saying that, oh yeah, that's my type. That's who these are the type of things that I'm attracted to. Sometimes what you need is it's like say you get a gift and the packaging is not very attractive, it's not very suitable, it's not the best wrapping that you ever seen. However, when you unwrap and unpack that gift, it's everything that you're looking for.
Somebody who also has been in this scenario and situation before. I was with a man that we continue to go through the same cycle of getting together. Things are really great. Then he does something. Then we're breaking up. Now he's making up for it and he's love bombing me, so we get back together. And then things are really good for a period of time, and then he does something, so I break up with him again. Then he love bombs me back to him, so we get back together. Do I need to like, and everybody's cycle won't be the same, but what I'm trying to explain here is a lot of times you're just in a cycle and you're refusing to learn the lesson, so you're going to continue to stay in that cycle. A prime example of this is somebody like Janae Aiko. I know that her and Big Sean have a beautiful relationship and they look like they're meant to be together. They appear as though they are soulmates, but they are not, because they are stuck in a karmic cycle. And so as long as they're together, they're going to keep going in the same cycle. Your soulmate is not going to have you bear his children and not want to provide for you, protect you forever. That's a karmic. A man who is okay with you having his baby and still treats you like shit and does not literally treat you like a goddess actually hates you and has no intentions of ever giving you what you desire. So I say all this to say a karmic is going to feel like a soulmate. It's going to feel like you guys were made for each other. It's going to feel like everything just aligned so perfectly and that this is your person. But there's going to be so much conflict, turmoil, and trauma in that relationship that it will never work out. So when I tell you guys, leave them, I'm telling you because the sooner you break the cycle, the sooner you're able to align with your actual soulmate. Look at Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill. We could have sworn they were soulmates, but that was her karmic because he treated her like shit. Look at Sierra and Russell Wilson. We thought Future was her soulmate. He was a karmic. Had she stayed with him, she would have never been able to align with her soulmate. So break the cycle before it breaks you. You get
I'm seeing she's bringing up these type of people like Nicki Minaj, Meat Mill, Sierra, Future. Bruh, why? But you know what these people were like at the get go. What you think? Some women just feels women out there just think that they've got this magical coochie walking with and they can change a man. Nah, he is what he is. Sometimes they tell you and they show you who they are, but love is blind. But like what she says, it's karmic. That's why they had to go through some of these heartbreaks that we go through. We have to go through it. It's all a part of our growth. We have to. So we don't punish ourselves. We just make sure that we learn, and when we cry, we don't cry the same tears a second time.
stuck in a karmic cycle when you know this relationship has dragged you through hell and back, but you choose to stay because you love that person so much. With love, y'all know I don't be trying to bully y'all, but like, if I don't, if I don't check y'all, it's like I'm having to repeat myself, and I don't like that.
Every karmic relationship is going through the same level of difficult. On the soul level, you're going to encounter about 3 distinct archetypes on your search for love: the lover, the sorcerer, and the predator. And the most dangerous mistake you can make is to confuse a twin flame for a predator. The first archetype is the lover. This is going to be the karmic soulmate. This is going to feel electric, but nothing ever works out because of timing. They are truly your perfect mirror, but they're also showing you on a fundamental level that lessons don't have to be traumatic. Lessons don't have to come in the worst way possible. Someone can kindly show you the truth without breaking your heart completely in the worst way possible. The purpose of this relationship is to show you your path. It's to show you your purpose. It's literally to get you back on the path. That is why it's karmic. But since it is a soulmate, it's not going to be extremely devastating as other relationships. The second archetype is the sorcerer. See, their end game is control. So they're going to be the master of illusions. They're going to study your dreams and become your fantasy. They are trying to control you by creating a world of illusions around you. So in your day-to-day,
Some of these people, the sorcerers, the controllers, are what she calls them. In some relationship, it's like with men, they will use money to control women. anything that the woman will go to the man and he will give you the money, but there's terms and conditions attached to that money. And that's like financial slavery or bondage. Big no. He will even stop the woman from getting a job, from ever getting a career. She could have a talent and he could see that it will bring her like fame, fortune, notability, whatever that word want to be, notoriety, whatever. And he will be the roadblock right there. There's also on the flip side again, there's women that uses like, lust with some men to control them. No, you're not gonna have any sex tonight because sex tonight because you haven't done this and that to control the man. It works both ways. So you have to be careful of these people. Or if you're in a control relationship, watch out for it.
Is going to show up as your classic F-boy, who just reflect back to you everything that you want. However, if someone is tapped in, they're going to show up as a spiritual con artist because they're going to use their gifts, whether it is being psychic, whether it's intuition or empath. They're going to use those gifts to figure out what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and then make that into your fantasy and illusion to get your control. The lesson of this relationship is discernment and learning to love yourself enough to walk away from situations. The third and most dangerous archetype is the predator archetype, which is normally confused for the twin flame. See, this relationship has no lesson because it's not meant to show you anything. It's meant for an energy harvest. These people are often severed from their own connection to their light, their own soul. So what do? Because they need life force, they consume others around them. They mimic the intensity of a twin flame. That's why you confuse them with them. They mimic that energy, but they are not actually putting you on a life path. They're simply just taking your energy. It's different than the actual sorcerer, which just wants to control your energy. They want to possess your energy and make it theirs. These predators will suck you dry. In your day-to-day, this is going to show up as a classic narcissist that literally wants to drain you dry. If someone is spiritually tapped in, this is going to show up as an energy vampire who is disconnected from their source. So they literally have to feed on you. And once they're done, they're going to drain you of everything. You're going to be a shell of a person at the end. There is no lesson in this one. There is no lesson in this scenario. All you have to do is not try to save them. Realize you're in this situation and get away as soon as possible.
Yep. I like this video. Leave your comments down below.
This is why God will send you your karmic partner while you're going through a spiritual awakening. Karmic love is not punishment. You actually meet karmic love and a karmic bond as you're moving through your last gates of ascension, spiritual awakening, preparing for true sacred union, sacred marriage between your inner masculine and feminine that will eventually call in your divine partner. Karmic love is not punishment. Karmic love is sent your way because you have to burn through the last layers of egoic delusion. When the karmic partner shows up, it'll feel intoxicating. It'll feel like fire in your body. But what will also be present is a constant underlying sense of anxiety. You will never feel truly safe, truly protected, truly at ease, truly at peace and comfort in your body. Why? Because your body is sensing the distortion and the delusion, and your body cannot lie to you. The karmic partner, the karmic love, is sent to break you. It's sent to break you. It's sent to put you through the ringer, for you to go through the entire arc of offering your pure heart, feeling the love, wanting to give so much of yourself, and constantly being denied and having to experience the other person's distortions. The other person will siphon your energy. They will take and take and take. They will refuse to commit. They will discard you when it's over. What is all of this about? It's not about you. It's about their ego. It's about their ego. Romantic love is a virus. Romantic love is not real. It's a virus rooted in ego and delusion.
I don't know about romantic love being a virus. Love overall is still a virus in a sense, technically still. And we all know love is blind, but the thing is that what she's saying, even though you're going through all of this, all of this traumatic experience, might even give you PTSD. At the same time, it's you as an individual to just muster the strength, the courage, and the power to just leave. It's easier said than done. Easy, because the power might take even years to actually fully develop, and for you to just make that step to just put yourself first, because this will damage your self-esteem. They will talk to you and you feel like you start feeling less, being a shell of yourself, start feeling less attractive, and you don't think you're deserving. You think that's the best that love can offer you. You think to yourself that love don't love you. There's multiple emotional roller coaster rides you're gonna go on before you get to that real strength to move on, and then you're gonna have to look to heal. You're gonna have to go through a healing process now, and potentially you might need to get to therapy and things like that. These toxic relationships, but love is real. Love is real. Love is one of the highest vibration out there. When she says that there's no romantic love, nah, I don't know if this lady is still suffering from her trauma doing this video, but let's see. Let her finish.
Out of 10 times, those out there who are loving unconsciously, who are not in conscious sacred union, they are loving you through their delusion. Their ego and unresolved mummy and daddy wounds show up to the table and they say, love me into wholeness. But what do they actually need you for? They need you to validate them because they're so insecure. When you break up with your karmic partner, you will be served the initiation of the ego in that human rising up and trying to fucking destroy you. What is your initiation? Stay in your heart, stay in your soul, stay out of your own ego. In order to become the high priestess, in order to become a master, you have to master your own wounds, your own ego, your own jealousy, your own competition, your own possessiveness, your own control, all of it. You have to burn through all of that shit. And so that is why God sends you the karmic partner. The karmic partner and the karmic love is a trigger. It's here to burn away the last of your illusions so that you can be pure, so that you can raise your vibration and come into union within your own self. A karmic partner is not a punishment, just a mirror.
Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think.
You ever have a connection end, whether family, friend, romantic, job, whatever, and then after that, either your life falls apart or it elevates? And that was a karmic lesson coming full circle. Now let me explain. Karmic lessons are patterns that come into our lives over and over and over again until we understand what it is that they're trying to teach us. Intense, familiar, or hard to walk away from, even when we know that it's not good for us. And these lessons don't just show up in love. It could come through a family dynamic. It could come through a one-sided friendship, a toxic work environment, even a reoccurring emotion like guilt or abandonment or unworthiness. Karmic lessons are less about the person or the situation, but more about what it activates in you. They reflect something that you are ready to outgrow, even if you don't realize it yet. So what happens when the connection ends? If your life starts falling apart and you feel lost, you feel overwhelmed, you feel stuck, it doesn't necessarily mean that you made the wrong decision. It means that you removed the surface level issue, but the root is still being revealed. You've triggered the beginning of the real work, the healing, the releasing, the reprogramming. This phase is very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable.
I understand when she talks about the karma right there, but there's another bit that people don't talk much about. It's the dharma. No, the dharma is when you start to move in your life purpose. When you step into the synchronicity or the frequency, the vibration of your dharma, and that's when you start to receive good karma. So it's the dharma and the karma.
But it's necessary. because the breakdown is what clears the path for the breakthrough. Now, on the flip side, if you let go of a connection and your life starts to elevate, you start to have more peace, you start feeling lighter or more like yourself, that is confirmation. You didn't just walk away from something, you outgrew it. The lesson landed. Your energy shifted, and now life is meeting you at a higher level. But here's what most people miss. Sometimes a connection ends and then nothing happens. Your life doesn't go into chaos, but it also doesn't elevate. You're just kind of stuck and stagnant. That is your sign that the lesson has not clicked yet. You removed the person or the situation or the job, but the energy behind it is still very much active. That's why the same kind of people, experiences, emotions keep showing up. Different face, same pattern. New opportunity, same internal block. The universe doesn't punish us, it mirrors us. Until we choose differently, the same lesson will continue to repeat itself over and over and over. These lessons are not here to break you, they are here to wake you up, to show you what you're still holding on
To build you.
to teach you where you're abandoning yourself, to help you see the beliefs, the fears, the wounds that have been running the show this entire time. When you stop viewing things as like just another failed relationship, just another stressful job, and you actually start to ask, what is this trying to teach me? That is when everything begins to shift. That's when you're
But that's it. When you're coming closer to enlightenment, your self enlightenment, you start to see patterns. And that's when you know it's an indication that, hold on, what is going on right here? Why are these patterns being repeated? What am I not learning? What should I do? What is the next step forward? You can always turn to yourself. The answer is within. The kingdom is within. All the answers are within.
soul starts guiding the way instead of your trauma. So, if you recently had a connection end and you're asking yourself, why do I feel stuck? Why do I feel confused? Ask yourself these questions. What pattern am I repeating? What part of me is still unhealed? What did this experience mirror back to me? Because karmic lessons will keep knocking until you answer. But once you do, once you see the pattern and you try something new, something different, that is when things start to align. That is when the lesson ends, and that is when the freedom begins.
Thank you everyone for sticking around watching the video. As you already know, AF9 Deep Truth Files. We try our best to drop videos as frequently as possible. Yes, so like, comment, share, subscribe. If you don't subscribe, we understand. Don't worry, the door is always open.